Well, hi everybody, it's Tim again. So if you're like me and you were thinking you were interested in maybe a software-defined radio for monitoring, but you weren't sure what to do, I thought, I'll get something that's kind of affordable, something good entry level, but I had no idea really what to look for. So of course, on Amazon, where else, the RTL SDR. And no, this isn't a plug because of my 9 or 10 subscribers. I don't think that they're going to pay me anything. But anyhow, I was going to show you a little bit about it and how easy it is to get this all set up. So when you do buy it and you get the actual adapter right there, you can buy the one that comes with an antenna kit for just a few bucks more. I wasn't sure if those antennas would really be what I was looking for. But what I would suggest is pick yourself up it's an SMA to whatever type antenna you normally have. And I have a bunch of SO239 or PL259, this type here. And then the other end's the SMA. And that goes on this little guy here. Most people don't have anything like that laying around that they can jury rig or makeshift an antenna and put it on. And the other thing I got, and I had this laying around and I'm glad I did, it's just a little jumper lead, just a little jumper cable for the USB. And the reason is this doohickey here, that dongle, that's a little bit big to be sticking out of the side of a computer. When you walk through, if it's a laptop, when you walk through a doorway or something, you'll probably break it. So after you get your SDR, after you got it in the mail, before you connect it to your computer, read the little card that comes with it and it'll tell you to go to this website, RTL-SDR.com. And then if you look right here, and I'm going to turn this light off so it's maybe a little bit easier, right here, Quick Start Guide. So when you click on the Quick Start Guide, it directs you down to some software to download, and make sure you read the instructions. It might seem like a lot of reading, but it's really only about a half an hour worth of reading. And of course you can read more so you are better at using the thing. I've already downloaded the software and configured it to go. So we'll get rid of all this. And here's the software when you bring it up. Alright, so that being said, I've already plugged the SDR in to the computer. I'll try and keep my head out of the way here so the bald spot doesn't blind you. So what I'm doing right now is I'm connecting the antenna up, and I'll show you what I got here. I'll have to turn the light back on so it's a little bit nicer here, so you can see what's happening. But there it is right there. So you can see what I did was I have a jumper that goes from the SDR over to the computer, which is on the other side of that meter. And then there's that adapter I told you that's the SMA to a PL259 adapter. And then it goes up into the rafters and connects to one of my antennas. So we'll go back to the television screen here, and that's where all the excitement's going to happen. Okay, so now you got your SDR radio, and let me turn that down a little bit. So there's a volume on here as well. Right there. You have your SDR radio and you're ready to use it. So one more thing I suggest is after you've downloaded this and all the instructions to get that going, go to the Quick Start page again where you download everything, and go to number 3, the user's guide. That's what I got here. And it gives you a couple things to check here right off the bat. Increase the RF gain from 0 to a higher value. These are if you're not really getting anything, but increase it from 0 to higher value in the configuration menu. Reduce the range slider to the right of the SDR window to about -70. So let's see. So let's check those two things. So RF gain and range slider on the right side. And I might have done this. You can see now the waterfall here is starting to show me where there's activity. Okay, let's see. So RF gain. So RF gains go this little gear up here, and hopefully you can see where I'm at. Yeah, it looks like it. Little gear here, and then RF gain's way down here. This thing here. So you'll see. Take RF gain, just kind of like the same way as in your ham radio if you have one, or your receiver. When you turn the RF gain all the way up, you start to pick up the noise floor. On my radio, I generally like it all the way up unless I'm trying to listen to one particular person or something, and I like to cut that down so it just kind of is right around that person's voice. It's actually like a little tip to better receiving. But okay, so there's that. We got that done. Already had that one, like I said. We moved that up so that you could get a better look at the waterfall. Let's see what's going on here. Some of this stuff, it's there's filters that you might want to look at, because some of the stuff, it's not really there. In other words, you might find some AM radio or something right around here where you wouldn't expect it. But let me see what this is. That's in the CB band. So anyhow, let's just finish with the things. Enable correct IQ setting, or enable offset tuning, and the configure menu. So we're using the first one, so correct IQ, and we got that right there on the left hand side where you see my mouse going. I think I did most of these a while back. Turn off snap to grid and set the mode, and I'll show you what I do with the mode. You said turn off snap to grid, and that has to do with the tuning, and I'm still learning all this, and as you can imagine there's a lot to it. But it's kind of interesting. So let's see. What I recommend when you're trying to find something, you'll see up here where my mouse is, right here, right below where it says radio. Throw things on raw, because then that way, no matter what it is, whether it's AM, FM, sideband, CW, it doesn't really configure for that. So at least once you find the noise, then you can go and work at what that noise is. So let's. Okay, I don't know if I knocked the camera again. Look again. So here's 2 meter ham. It's the only place I really could find any activity right now. And I don't really have a 2 meter ham antenna capable connected to it. I'm just using an outdoor antenna. But so if you look here on the right hand side here, this zoom, this can make the frequency larger or smaller. Let me put the waterfall back where we can see what's happening. Here you can see this is showing us that there's some kind of activity right here. But if I move this, you can kind of see how my frequency range is getting wider and smaller. See, the 2 meter band fills up this whole thing, whereas if I pull it down here, you can see it's just a portion of it. So it's nice, but you can see that there's other things going on in the band. There's probably somebody here. What's that, 148? I don't know what that is up there. But you have your choices: wide band, narrow band, AM, FM. Were they 180 or something? I think they were coming through. So let's see, and then you can set your bandwidth, how big of an area you want to be able to scan through. But it's kind of nice because if you're working somebody, let's just say, and you want to know if anybody else is on the band, you can just watch it. But like I said, it's still a learning curve for me. I just haven't had too much of a chance to play with it, but I want to read a little bit more about it. But just figured I'd show you how to get the software set up, and I'm sure you'll probably excel and pass me way up. Let's see, there's some activity here. I don't know what this is. That's what I was just listening to. So that's it, and you can play around with it on your own. And, you know, of course, when you get one, it's not that expensive, and there's a lot of things out there to look at. And as I find out more about the filters and the different ways to scoot around through here, I'll share it with you. Thanks for watching.